Yep.
Is it getting well? So you can send them on the message.
Yeah, this thing is not charging.
It's not charging.
It's not charging. You can't charge now. You can't charge.
Very good. We are live, right? Alright, so tell our guys to join back. Ask them that can they see the board? Because this is the reason why we had to breach. Ask on the page that can they see the board? Okay. Off this light. Let me see.
Okay. Okay. She says you can see the board. That's the live chat. Where's the live chat? Live chat.
Okay, on the live chat. All right, we can we can the board.
Midnight.
Okay,
Yes, deleted.
it's limited. All right, so I believe you can see the board. So this is a concept that you cannot afford to miss. This is a concept that this is what made us to go off transmission. All right. So now, what I'm saying is, I said I will be teaching you today on the foundational principle for wealth creation. That's if you don't know this that I want to communicate to you right now, you cannot build wealth. Like everyone you see that have grown from one level of finances to another level actually engage this. It is a universal principle that anyone who wants to build wealth must be aware of. So I said we have a what I call the wealth building platform. So it's like a rectangle this way. So you divide the rectangle into 4 parts. All right. Good. So you call this the first, let me call it in. Let me call this place out. Okay. And then let me call this place your GT. Or that's GT, that's growth. All right. Growing your money or increasing your money. GT. Then, so I'm not talking about GT Bank. All right. Today, I'm not going to talk about the banking industry. The banking industry is not designed to make you wealthy. They are there for business. They are there to make their own money. So, but this is GT here representing growth. Then you have DT representing your debt. at every point in time, you might be in debt. You are owing some money, owing some systems, some body, some monies, a friend, a family, and all that. So depending. So this is what is called the wealth building platform or template. Now, the difference between those that will build wealth and those that will not. So I call this P. All right. I believe you can still see what I'm writing. This is P. This represents the poor. All right. And this is R. This represents the rich or the wealthy. Then we have in here. In here represents your income, where money flows into your hand. All right. So I said money can come into your hand through your salary. Let's say you are working a job. Let's call that S. Money can also come in through inheritance. Let's call that H. Money can come in through, let's say, a business. You have a business that people pay you for. Money can come in through that. And then money can come in through a gift. Let's call that G. So we have SHBG. SHBG, that's salary, inheritance, business, and then money that comes to you in form of a gift. So these are the sources of money. Now, the difference between those that will grow wealth, that will use this GT, and those who will remain poor is that as money is coming into your it is going here for the poor. They push it here immediately. So why for some of them, even before the money comes in, they've already collected a lot of debts. They've gone to get food, pay rent, a whole lot of legitimate needs actually. All right. So when money comes in here, it goes out here. And what does it go out to? Either in form of rent, in form of food, in form of clothing, in form of what else do you spend more? Maybe transport, airtime and data, airtime and / data, lifestyle upgrade. As money is coming, some people are already upgrading their lifestyle upgrade. All right, either buying a new car, getting some new jewelries and stuff like that. All right, so this is what happens when a man is or a woman or a person is going to remain poor. If you are going to remain poor, you are going to operate this way. As money is coming into your you are pushing it out immediately. And sometimes you've even already collected most of these things. So you are just paying off as the money is coming in. This cycle will keep you in a state of perpetual poverty. All right? So what I'm saying here is as money is coming in, it's going out. In equal out. This is poverty. All right? This guy cannot be rich. The second one is, so you will notice that this guy did nothing about his debts, the debt that is owing, that's your DT. He didn't do anything. As the money is coming in, he's using it to fulfill stuffs here. All right? But then, the guy that will build wealth and become rich is the guy that doesn't care what happens here first. Doesn't care what happens out first. As this money is coming in, a certain percentage, all right, a certain percentage of that money, he will commit it to his GT, which is the wealth growth platform. All right, out of these 4 platforms, this is where you grow wealth. So what do? Immediately the money is coming in. It doesn't matter if he's owing debt. It doesn't matter if he has needs to meet. He will make sure that a certain percentage of this his is going into GT for wealth creation. That's one. Then the next thing he will think about is that a certain percentage will come into his DT, that is his debt repayment. Maybe he's owing some money and then he's committing a certain percentage of what is coming in into the repayment of the debt, so that he can get to a condition where he is debt free. Are you getting this? He will get to a place where he is totally debt free. So he is intentionally pushing money into his GT and is pushing money into his DT. Then what is now remaining after he has removed these 2 percentages is what he will use to sort out his out. When you go through this cycle, all right, you will surely come to the place of wealth. Did you get this? So what does he do? The guy that will become rich, what does he do? This is the guy that will become poor. Poverty, the poor man equal in, equal out. The rich equal, there's no equality there. The rich goes this way, he spread to GT, he spread to his debt repayment, he spread to out. So how does he do it? His R that's rich equal in res, then the in spreads to 3 different directions. Goes to GT, goes to DT, goes to D. So his intention, as someone says, what if I don't have enough? What if I have is not even enough to take care of my rent, food, and all that? Then you will still have to follow this rule, because when you follow the rule of spreading a percentage to GT, to DT, and to out, once there is not enough money to meet the needs here, what that does to you is that your mind begins to think. Your brain begins to think on how do I create more sources of income that will help me to be able to meet my needs. But if every single time money comes in and you push them to satisfy all your needs here, which are legitimate needs, your rent is a legitimate need, your food, your clothing, your transport, your data, your airtime, everything is a legitimate need. But instead of you focusing on satisfying all these needs, and you are separating some money into growth, and you're separating some money into debt repayment, and then you use the remaining to sort out what is coming out, though it is not enough to meet that need, what you now do is that at that point, your brain is being calibrated to begin to think, what can I do to create more income that will be able to satisfy the needs here? But if you are using every resource that is coming in to satisfy the need here, your mind will not be pushed. Your consciousness will not become aware of the fact that I need to create other sources of income. So what happens? So when you operate the rich strategy, which is rich equal in, he gets something either from gift or from his business or from money that he inherited or from his salary. Once he gets it, he begins to spread it. He spread to GT, he spread to DT, he spreads to out. And his spreading to out is usually the last. Yes. This is what keeps him wealthy. Why? Because he understands that I need to repay all my debts so that I will become debt-free. And he understands that I need to grow my wealth so that a certain percentage of my income is committed into growth. And what happens? This is now the second thing. Once he has established this routine or this pattern or this template of wealth growth, what this rich man now does is that he will now put his energy at this point. He will put most of his energy at the point of GT. So what does he do? This is his thinking place. He will begin to think about how do I multiply this money that is entering my GT. So he wants to consider some passive income, either government bonds, he wants to consider mutual fund, he wants to consider fixed deposit, he wants to consider, okay, is there something, can I create another business with this income that is here that will generate more income? Are you getting it? So this is the strategy. This is the fundamental principle for wealth growth. For some of us, we're born in families where as your parents are receiving money like this, they are settling your school fees, settling a whole lot of things, and then daddy says, I don't have money again. Why? Because there is no strategy for wealth creation. Every money he gets goes out. Are you getting this? So this is exactly what I want to show you, and I believe you got the concept. Don't mind if you followed, you'll be able to understand this diagram, right? So let's go back. Then let me now show you how to, today we are going to be focusing on in, all right? I'll be taking this one step at a time. Today we'll focus on in. How do you set yourself up for the best kind of in the pathway of wealth creation? And then with time, we're going to talk about your DT. How do you settle your debts? And then your GT. And then what are the things you should actually spend money on? What are the things you should spend on, right? It's not everything you should spend. There are some things that are priority spendings that you should focus on. So we're going to continue from here. In a short while, we're going to continue. I'm going to be telling you about this in state. system is saying something on the page. It said this is what it's showing. Can you hear me now? Oh, I believe we are back. I believe we are back on. I believe the volume is back. We're having a challenge with our audio. We're having a challenge with our audio. So can you hear me now? Let me know once you can hear me. You can drop a chat either on the YouTube chat box or on the WhatsApp group. Okay, it said the video is working, but the audio is not working. Okay, is it working now? Alright, so I'll be going straight into in. Like I said, let me just address in today. Remember when I say in, reference back to our diagram. Our diagram is a rectangle divided into 4 parts. In, out, down there, GT, which is your growth, and then debt, where you service your debt repayment. Right, so now we are going straight into the in. So how do we generate income? How do we generate income? If your only source of income is your salary, all right? If your only source of income is your salary, your financial future is tied to a single source of cash flow. Wealthy individuals typically build multiple streams of income over time. The goal is not simply to earn more, but to create a system that continue to produce income even when you are not actively working. This is very important. You produce a system that generates income actively even when you yourself you are not actively working. So the first thing about your the first thing I'll be talking about is build a knowledge business. Build what? A knowledge business. If you have expertise in any area, package it. And if you want to learn how to execute on this, we can. That's why we have this First Tech. First Tech will teach you how to create your digital products and how to put it out there to earn from it. All right. So the first thing is to build a knowledge business. So how does this go? It goes in form of an online course, paid mentorship, group coaching, e-books, membership communities, corporate training, and workshops. So that's the knowledge business. So you have to, I'm showing you strategic ways on bringing in funds. All right? Yes, this is very practical, and this is for the elites. So you are privileged to have this access. So you build income, you generate more income by selling something. All right. So the second one is begin to own assets. Someone may say, but I don't even have enough money and all that. How do I own assets that produce cash flow? Just have this at the back of your mind. All right. What I'm teaching you now may not be your reality at the moment, but as you begin to think about them, as you begin to plan towards it, you will come into that reality. For example, if I ask you now, how many red cards did you see today? Some of you will tell me none, or the majority of you will say none.
but that doesn't mean red cards didn't pass by you. But what I'm doing through this teaching is to bring you into a consciousness such that you become aware, because awareness is the first level of progress. When you become aware of something, then you can now work towards executing. So owning assets that produce cash flow is one of the key ways to generate funds. And what are the assets that produce cash flow? The first one is rental property, commercial property, short-let apartments, cars. So basically, real estate. And the second one is agriculture. You know, in Nigeria, a lot of us are not really paying attention to the strategies that our environment has actually openly afforded us. Agriculture is very key. Now, is PK saying go and farm? No, absolutely not. You can create a system around agriculture. You can enter, there are different chains, there are different channels in the agricultural space. You can become a distributor. You can become the one that supplies the end product. Like us now, I will just say this in passing, we are already working on a particular strategy of selling a particular agricultural produce in mass. Alright? Yes. And that is it, because we want to position ourselves to be able to generate income from that. So agriculture is an area you might want to look into to be able to increase your in. Then build a digital business. If you are someone, and this, you don't even have to be a tech savvy to do this. Alright? This is why First Tech exists. Alright? So you can contract us if you have a digital idea. Maybe you want to build a particular software that solves a particular need. You can build what is called a SaaS, software as a service. Alright? When you build a SaaS product, it becomes a source of income for you. You can contract organizations like First Tech and other digital services, but I will say contract us, because we have web developers, we have people that can help you set up any digital system that you want to build. Alright, mobile apps, AI tools, digital marketing agency, graphic design agency, software development, website design, social media management. All these things are side businesses that you can build, and from there you can generate more income. Alright, then you can also start a service business. What do we mean by a service business? For example, dry cleaning, alright, helping people do their laundry, security service, property management, event management, logistics, laundry, interior decoration, alright, POP installation, solar installation. And the truth here is you don't have to know everything about this. You don't even have to be an expert in this. All you just need to know is to know the business side of these operations, and then get artisans to work with you to execute. So don't say there is no money. You can always create wealth, alright, through building systems. So another thing you can do is to build a sales-based income. What do I mean by sales-based income? You can earn commission through insurance. Just volunteer yourself to an insurance company and tell them, I'll help you market your products, and then you can agency, real estate agency, that's one. Cars, go to car dealers around your environment and tell them I'll market your cars, and set up a platform online and begin to market. You don't need to have money to buy the product to be able to sell them. Alright? We have one of us in our team here. He stands in between a particular computer and gadget dealer, and he sells and makes his commission from there. So these are ways, alright, you can increase your in. Remember, I said I'm focusing on in today. Alright? Then invest consistently. Alright? There are different investment portfolios, which as SOP goes on, I'm going to take my time to explain how each of these investment platforms work. There's what is called mutual fund, there are ETFs, there are stocks, there are bonds, there are treasury bills, there are money market funds, a lot of them like that. You can be putting aside a percentage of your income into these systems. This is the ways you increase your in. There was a transaction we just did recently, and based on the terms of that transaction, we'll be getting something more than 100K per month, all right, on it, and that is a passive income for us. So that is what it is. So there are systems like that, and you can plug into them. Then real estate is another one, like I said before. Create intellectual property. All right, intellectual property. When I say intellectual property, I mean you can write a book about your field, about what you do, a book on music. I don't know if one of us is here. Joe, Papa Joe, if you are here, listen to me. All right, you can create income through what you do with your hands on that piano. All right, think about it. You can see, you can even set up a piano training school that you are not the one that will teach. Just get other people that can play the piano and organize the system. There are different ways of creating wealth that you must be aware of, and make sure that you are plugging in so that you can increase your in. Build a brand. Alright, this is a whole lot. I'm not going to expatiate on all this. So there are different things to do: acquire businesses, affiliate marketing, licensing, and all that, franchise. Alright, so these things are different ways of generating more income into your in. And once you can look at each of these things and see the one that works best for you and begin to pursue it, in no time you will see that there is an increase, there's an upward move in your in. Then we can now talk about how to divert that to your GT, then to your DT, and then to your out. So we're going to be stopping here for today. I believe you've gotten value in the School of Prosperity today, and we're going to continue next week Friday. Our platform is still open for free calls for those who are in the elite group. All right, if you're not in the elite group, you can check our YouTube description. The admin number is there. You can always contact us and join the elite group. All right, these are people who have taken their step in SOP further by making a monthly commitment to paying a certain amount on a monthly basis. For those who are students, it's 3,000 naira, and for those who are working class, it's 5,000 naira. All right, they make that monthly commitment to make sure that we keep doing what we are doing and offering this value that we are giving to us on this platform. So I want to encourage you, if you are not yet there, transit to the elite group and become part of the School of Prosperity Elite membership. A member in the membership group, all right? Then follow us on our different social media handles on Instagram, on I think we have an account on Facebook, we have an account on TikTok, and then make sure to subscribe and share our videos on the YouTube platform. All right? So good having you guys again this evening. God bless you. Have a wonderful week ahead. See you again on Friday. And then we have the Streams of Wealth. The Streams of Wealth is our early morning encounter session where we draw ideas from the divine, where we plug in into the supernatural, because there is a supernatural part of wealth creation. All right, it's not just about the physical exertions. There's also an influence from the realm of the spirit. So Streams of Wealth, SOW, sow, is the place where we sow ourselves in and soak in treasures from the divine. So don't miss SOW that happens every Wednesday, 5:30 a.m. to 6 a.m. Just a 30-minute refreshing moment where your courage is activated, your vision is enlarged, and ideas flow to you ceaselessly from the throne of grace. Thank you so much for joining School of Prosperity this evening once again. See you on